Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. You guys know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Hit the subscribe if you're new, and ding that notification bell so you're instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. Today, we're back talking some Sixers, and we are just 4 days away from some Sixers game action. Man, I am so damn excited. I cannot wait. I'm tingling. I got this burning passion about me. We're a week and a half away from the Sixers start of the 2020 season. Isn't this crazy, man? I really cannot wait. Today we're going to go through the first half of the schedule. If you do not know, the NBA has released the schedule in 2 different halves. They have not released the second half yet, just the first half of each team's schedule. So we can go ahead and get an idea of who we're going to play and all that, and what our record's going to be. We're going to give a full season record prediction today in 72 games. Remember, not 82. And we're going to talk about the first half and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, I think it is important for us to understand what will a successful season look like for the Philadelphia 76ers in 2020-2021? You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Look, it's going to be different from every person's perspective. In my eyes, I think there are about 3 to 4 major things that I would say the Sixers need to do this season for it to be a successful season in my eyes. Number 1. The Sixers have to make a jump from last year. They have to make a pretty significant leap. Now, whether that's 5 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, whatever, you can put a number on it. What I'm talking about is the eye test. So I'm talking about what I see. This Sixers team was inconsistent. They couldn't get going. They couldn't get in a rhythm. Overall, this Sixers team needs to create an identity this year. We had an identity back in 17, and we see, where it's ended up years later. We're trying to get back to that. We're bringing in these pieces, these vets, these shooters. We got to get back to that identity, establish that. And overall, this team has to do better. I mean, we won 52 games in 17. Then we went to 51. Last year, we were at 43, and if the season had continued to its normal end, we probably went around 47, 48 games maybe at the most. And, again, we're on the down scale where we're trending downwards, and we have to flip around that momentum. We got to get back to being a significant team in the East. I mean, we were the 6th seed. We got to be at least the 3rd or 4th seed every year. Honestly, every single year. So I think we need to make that jump. And every night we got to play more consistent and just be a fundamental basketball team. Number 2, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Look, I've been saying this, I don't even know how long, but our stars need to take that next level. I've been waiting for them to get a consistent head coach who I trust and who I put my faith in. And I think he's going to come in here and do that for this team. I think Ben and Joe are going to take that next step, but I need to see it. I need to see Joel Embiid being that dominant, scary presence on an every night basis. I need to see Ben Simmons adjusting to the NBA and in terms of what he needs to do at the next stage. You know what I mean? Because Ben Simmons can be a serviceable player forever, but I want to see him develop that shot. I want to see him have more willingness on the court. I want to see him going downhill at 150 miles an hour. I want to see him facilitating. I want to see Ben Simmons taking that next step in his career at age 24, as we've seen with some of these other guys, to really become that all-NBA player. He needs to adjust to what defenses have been doing to him, because I don't think he has done that in the past couple years. We need to build this identity, like I said, around these 2 focal points in Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, open up what I've been talking about as this window now. And I think that starts with your stars. You build around them, you adjust, you see what works well, what doesn't. And I think Doc Rivers is going to put these guys in the best situations every single night. And I think our stars are the key to the Sixers becoming championship contenders, or in that conversation in future years. Number 3 starts with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, create this solidarity, create this consistency, put our players in the right positions, become a winning team, right? Build this winning culture. We got to be a team, like I said, we're being blatantly disrespected right now. We need to be that team where we come into the season and they say that's going to be a playoff team automatically. That's going to be a top 5 seed. We need to be one of those teams. I think it starts this year. Again, Doc's going to put these guys in the best situations. Daryl Morey's going to go out and get us pieces and acquire other guys based on what we need throughout the season. I think we're finally building that foundation, that structure for the future, and it starts with Doc Rivers getting the best out of these guys, starting with Ben and Joe, but also the role players, also the supporting cast, and really, like I said, just getting this team to play faster and harder and just believe in what is transpiring every single night. I think it starts with Doc Rivers, and it's kind of an organizational thing. It goes down the organization, and we, like I said, we just got to build a winning culture here on a daily basis. And number 4, we got to become what I would call a destination. We got to become a place where players want to play, and we do that by putting out the results, right? Let them keep sleeping on us. We got to produce. Maybe we make a big trade at the deadline. If we don't, guess what? Next year in the free agent class of 2021, even though a couple guys are signing extensions, it's still on pace to be one of the most historic free agent classes of all time. So say the right deal isn't there at the deadline. Daryl Morey said he's not going to pull the trigger on something crazy if we don't need to. But who knows what's going to happen? But next year, say we have Ben and Joe and we make a big turnaround and we show we are taking 5 steps in the right direction. We're taking steps toward becoming that championship team and opening our window. Well, guess what? We might just land our 3rd and final piece and become a big 3, for example, and become title favorites entering next season. So, at the end of the day, we just got to turn it around. We got to make a foundation, and it starts this year, and we really got to build for the future. And we got to have a positive season. Now, this leads us into looking at the 2020 schedule. Again, we've only seen the first half, but overall, man, I just think this team is in position to do something special this year. Obviously not right now. It's going to take time to get aligned and acclimated to a bunch of new faces, to a new locker room, to a new coach, all this stuff. Look, we are lucky because looking at this first half of the schedule, we don't have what I would say a brutal schedule by any means. I think it's actually decent. We have a couple hard games, right? We got a game against the Raptors early on. We got a back-to-back against Boston. We have the Trailblazers. We have a back-to-back later against the Raptors. We have some hard games, but overall, I'm looking at back-to-backs against the Hornets. We start out on opening night against the Wizards, Russ and Bradley Beal. They're starting something new as well. You got the Knicks, you got the Cavs, Atlanta. I think they're going to be a good team, but who knows how they're going to play out and everything. Look, the Sixers have a pretty decent first month or two, honestly. I mean, we could win a lot of games. And look, again, it's going to take time for every team, especially a team like us with a new system, to really get aligned. So we may start out cool. We may lose a couple early on that we shouldn't. But at the end of the day, look, we've only had 2 weeks of camp. We're getting into the season in a week and a half. It's crazy. Doc's admitted, he's openly said that we're not going to be ready in full form by the time the season starts. But that's okay. As long as, 20, 30 games in, we start building that chemistry and we get rolling and we position ourselves to be that contender this year. I think it's going to happen. Overall, I'm going to say for an entire season prediction, even though we haven't seen the second half of the schedule, and I'm not going to be that guy to go through every game. That's ridiculous. It's not an 82-game season. It's a 72-game season. I'm not going to go win by win. No. I think this team, you take off the 10 games from a normal season, I project this team to win 46 games this year. I'm going to say 46 and 26. Now, if you add back the normal 10 games, say they win all 10, that puts us at 56 and 26. If you account for a couple losses, we would normally be around 52, 53, 54 wins probably on a normal season. So really, I'm saying we're going to get back to that level where we were kind of at in 17 and 18 and maybe even add a couple wins if this was a normal season. But when you take those games off, I'm going to say the Sixers go 46 and 26. I expect us to have a little bit harder of a schedule in the second half, but I think by then we will establish our identity. We will be connecting on all cylinders, and I really think we'll be pushing forward. And we might even acquire a big piece or two to push us into, playoff contention and see where we can go. In my opinion, I'm looking at a 4 seed or above. I think we're going to finish probably the 3rd or 4th seed. I'll say the 3 seed just because we always seem to do that. But in terms of what I'm hearing, some people are saying we have to get to the finals. Some people are saying we have to get to Eastern Conference Finals. Danny Green said it in his podcast yesterday when we talked about it. He said, it's Eastern Conference Finals or bust. In my opinion, I don't think we need to do that. That is not required for a successful season for me. And look, it's going to be different. Again, this is a weird season where this isn't normal preparation or anything. Different things are going to happen. There might be different circumstances, a different situation 2 months into the season. Who knows? And that's why I'm not going to come on here and say the Sixers are going to go to the first round and lose. We're going to go to the finals and lose. I'm not going to say that. Teams get hot. It's about who clicks at the right time and who gets hot later in the season. But what I can say is I expect us at 46 wins to be Probably a 3 or 4 seed, and if we do that, I'm happy. If we go to the playoffs and we win, a couple series and we fall short, well, it's okay. Maybe we become that destination like I was talking about. But at the end of the day, the Sixers just got to make that jump. They got to turn it around, and we just got to play solid basketball on a consistent basis. We have to prove that our franchise and the moves we are making are trending in the right direction. I think we've pushed all the right buttons so far, and looking forward, man, I just think that the Sixers are going to have a solid season. The reason I'm not picking us to win 50 plus like Danny Green or whoever else talked about it is because, again, it's going to take some time to get used to it. We might drop a few early, but I like that our earlier part of the season does not seem too difficult in my eyes. So I cannot wait. A lot of things to come to this channel, and we're going to be covering it all season, man. So I cannot wait. You guys, let me know your thoughts down below. What do the Sixers need to do for this to be a successful season? What do you think about our schedule so far in the first half? Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.